Brian Murphy, Chris Thomason back here at Winter Park, Week 14, leading up to... What's so funny? All right, Brian Murphy here with Chris Thomason back here at Winter Park, Week 14, leading up to the Ravens game in Baltimore. Brian Murphy back here with Chris Thomason at Winter Park, Week 14, heading into the game at Baltimore against the Ravens. Once again, another quarterback story. Once again, more quarterback news. This time it's Matt Castle stepping in for an injured Christian Ponder. You were there to hear both Leslie Frazier and Matt Castle address that, and what did they have to say?
Well, it'll be Matt's third start of the season, and everybody kept saying, oh, this is for one game, blah, 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 but obviously, with the Vikings quarterback situation in limbo, if Castle plays well, you got to consider him as the guy potentially for the rest of the season and maybe even for next season. I mean, this isn't just an average schlep they're throwing in there. I mean, he played well in 2008 with New England. He went to the Pro Bowl in 2010 with Kansas City. He has been up and down in his career, but if he can finish the season up, it could be very interesting for the Vikings. And that wasn't the only lineup move. Tell us about the other one that we'll expect this Sunday, Brian.
Audie Cole, as expected, starting again at middle linebacker in place for Aaron Henderson, who moves into the weak side position after not playing a snap last week and missing the November 24th game at Green Bay because of personal reasons. He kind of expounded upon that a little bit today, talking about how he allowed social and media and fan criticism to really affect his confidence and kind of how he was preparing for games. And I think it's interesting that he would kind of take some time away from the game to address that, but he's not necessarily pleased. I think he's grateful to get back on the field, but he's not necessarily pleased about losing his job, but also understands how well Audie's playing and understands that this is about getting wins and getting results, and right now Audie Cole is making that happen.
Yeah, he certainly is. Audie, the last couple games, I believe, has 22 combined tackles. He kind of came out of nowhere to have 13 against Green Bay on November 24th. But this is Aaron Henderson's homecoming. He grew up in Aberdeen, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore. Looked like for a minute it might be not a good homecoming, but he will be back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and he's addressing his things as well. And it's kind of interesting. These are lineup changes, but these are a chance for the Vikings at 3-8-1 to evaluate some of the younger players on the roster and some of the things that they can do and can maybe expect and build for next year. And I don't know if we're getting any more epic photo bombs or video bombs from Chad Greenway behind us, but the linebacking crew is right on top of us right now, and they are loving watching newspaper guys struggle with television stand-ups. So I'm sure there's a little more entertainment with him and that crew than us, but
yes,
we're out here making the effort on a snowy day.
Yes, but nobody's bumped us, unlike Chris Cook with an official last Sunday, so expect the NFL to be fining Chris Cook at some point this week. Leslie Frazier came out Wednesday and said he knows he's going to get a big fine. Chris Cook still hasn't talked to the media, but he had said Tuesday that he will at some point about his ejection last Sunday for bumping an official.
That might have been the segue of the year, folks. I don't think we're going to get one any smoother than that, but probably be a lot more to talk about after the Ravens game. There's only 2 more games left at the Metrodome. That's going to be a storyline to follow as well. For Chris Thomason, Brian Murphy signing off.